It's nights like this that we really stay focused. And we stay focused because a lot of people are throwing us ringers left and right. It's actually a night in which I thought maybe I'll do Javita late because of all the talk of SBA money coming from the president tonight. But then I realized, no, we really need purple power tonight. And this is purple power. We need purple power because we're being told so many false narratives by the White House, Pelosi, Mnuchin, even the problem solvers, that we need to stay focused. We need to stay focused on where we're going to get our stimulus packages, where we're going to get our stimulus relief, and how we're going to get to the finish line. It's more than ever now that we need to stay positive, stay mindful, and stay dedicated because a lot of people are trying to confuse us. And this is Purple Power. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is a special edition of Purple Power tonight in which everyone's literally saying the incorrect thing, and we're supposed to figure out where in that sea of lobster bills is the real tuna. I guess that's the expression. Thank you for joining me on a night in which there's a lot of twists and turns, and I appreciate you for tuning in. As always, go to the Fun's channel, subscribe. It's going to be a big night, and if you didn't watch the video before this, please watch it, check, and also watch Pelosi versus Mnuchin and also Mitch versus Donald. Also like this video because you're going to see a lot of twists and turns. All right, let me get to the breaking details. The breaking details is that Purple Power needs to remain focused tonight because there's literally a false narrative coming out of every branch of government about your stimulus, and everything they're saying is absolutely categorically incorrect. And they're saying it for a purpose. Let me explain to you why they're doing this. They're doing this because they haven't gotten a stimulus package approved. And so they understand the election is just a few days away, 23, that's hence our 28 show every day at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. And they're literally pushing false narratives left and right so they look good. Let me explain to you what is being said tonight and explain to you why each of them is incorrect. First, the White House tonight is saying in a new push that it wants to repurpose SBA PPP money. That's $300 to $500 billion, exactly what I've been reporting to you for 5 weeks. They now confirm my reporting in glowing colors, but now they're doing a spin on it, saying that they need the Congress to do it for them. And they want the Congress to do it for them, and that the Congress is holding it up for them. Well, this again is spin. They do not need congressional approval to send out money that's in PPP. Case in point, they did not need money in FEMA dedicated for disaster relief from tornadoes and hurricanes to be sent out for your unemployment benefits. All they had to do was repurpose it themselves by act of executive order. So this is a false narrative, but it sounds really good. Blame it on Nancy. On the other side, Nancy's blaming the president. As always, you can basically write this one for yourself. She's saying that the president is not being serious on things and serious on crushing the virus and serious on this and not enough of this and not enough of that. Well, Steve Mnuchin fired back and showed us that that was incorrect, what Nancy said, because he, in my allegation, leaked to NBC Today his deal items, what comprised the $1.8 trillion offer he made 2 days ago. And we've seen it as a very good deal. We've seen it, it's a deal that could be done. There's nothing bad about the deal. It increases your stimulus check for adult dependents to $1,200. It pays everyone $1,200 who's an adult for a stimulus check. It pays everyone who's a child $500. It pays $400 of FPUC. It does it all the way to middle January. This is new. Its retroactive date is a little messed up, but it's a very good bill. It has rent aid, it has mortgage forbearance, it has student loan debt, and she's saying it's not good. Well, no, that's not true. It's just not what you want. It's not a bad bill. There's nothing bad about Steve Mnuchin's bill. Let me make that very clear to you. It's a good bill. It may not be the bill she wants, but it's a good bill. Ultimately, should a good bill die because it's not what someone else wants? No, of course not. Next, problem solvers. Oh, as if we need them to get involved with the situation. Remember, the problem solvers are a bunch of congressional members. They can write a bill, they can introduce it to full floor for a vote in the House or Senate. Guess what? Not one problem solver has ever taken the problem solver bill and introduced it to the floor for a vote. So what are they doing tonight? Well, they took the NBC News report that talked about Steve Mnuchin's offer of $1.8 trillion from Friday that has been rejected by Nancy Pelosi and said, and this is what the problem solvers said, they said, oh, new items about the latest offer. Well, A, it's not the latest offer, it's the last rejected offer. It makes it sound like it's something new. Second, they said, well, this is really good, negotiations are continuing. No, they're not continuing, problem solvers. This is an offer that was made on Thursday or Friday, was rejected by Nancy Pelosi. They did not talk over the weekend, they did not negotiate over the weekend. There is no negotiations because the president has no authority to go over $1.8 trillion. So there's false narrative for the problem solvers. Why are they pushing a false narrative? Same thing. They're people in the caucus that want to look like they're doing great things. All they're doing is doing nice, cute press releases with fancy colored fonts and logos. They're not doing anything. In fact, the Purple Power is doing 500,000% more than those people are doing at the moment. Next, those Republican GOP senators. Oh my goodness, there's our helicopter. They are just awful. Lamar Alexander, Miss Blackburn, Mr. Lee, and the other one whose name I forget. I forgot his name. There's 20 of them. They don't want to give you any stimulus. So what did they do? They called the White House. They called the White House, and apparently someone else was listening on the phone because all their quotes are now into several news reports from broadcast news. They called the White House, spoke to Mark Meadows, talked to Steve Mnuchin, talked to Donald Trump, says, hey, you're ruining our party. Our party doesn't support what you're doing. Stop it. You're going against our party. You're not going over 1.8 trillion. You didn't have authority to even go to 1.8 trillion. Stop this madness. Okay. So what's the problem there? Well, the problem there is that there's something wrong with these people. That's as simple as I can put it. These are people who may not be reelected. They're up for re-election. They may lose. And ultimately, these are people who literally going to go to the retirement villa because they want to protect the national debt that doesn't need protecting for stimulus. Jerome Powell told us that last week. So amongst all these crazy people doing crazy things, and none have been listed in Nancy's crazy commission pamphlet brochure yet, the purpose is, and the question is, what should Purple Power be doing? Only two things. Seats for stimulus, executive orders. I mean, there's nothing else to be doing. Oh, and also delegates helping one another. I mean, at this point, should we be pushing the problem solvers? No, they're wacko at the moment. We should not be doing anything with the problem solvers. Should we be pushing anyone else to do a bill? No, it's too late to do a bill during the term of this presidency. Should we be pushing anything legislative? No, there's no path and no time to get a bill done by act of Congress. All that our efforts should be on are executive orders. The president needs to understand he can repurpose the money, sir. You can repurpose the money and you can set it out. Don't avoid the subject matter. Don't deflect and start to say it's someone else's job, because ultimately we know it's yours. Ultimately you did it before you with LWA with FEMA. Ultimately, if you don't want to do it, just say you don't want to do it. Just submit to the American people you don't want to give us a stimulus check. Then we'll decide in the polls what to do with you in the voting booth. But don't expect this chatter to work. Ultimately, you have a group of people tonight that may want to make it sound to you that they're doing something, and they're not. They are categorically not. Do you see a pen and paper in their hands? So Purple Power, push for the president, executive orders. Push for the president, executive orders. Executive orders for stimulus checks, $1,200, $2,400. Hey, you could even raise the stimulus check at this point. There's enough money for it. You could ask $2,000. You could ask $2,000 for 6 months. You can ask anything you want. The president needs to know he needs to send out executive orders, should not be relying upon Nancy Pelosi, should not be relying upon the Democrats, should not be relying upon the Republicans. In fact, as detailed in last night's video, the president has literally no support anywhere now. He's into a number of 1.8 that gives him no support from Nancy, no support from Republicans, no support from really anyone. So I don't know why he's even at that number. He was told not to go to that number. He went to that number, and now people are saying, we're not supporting you at the number. He doesn't need support to do executive orders. All he needs is a pen and paper, and he's done. FPUC, executive orders. He should do it. He doesn't even need to do an executive order for FPUC. He just needs to pick up the phone and call the agency that has the money sitting in it. If it's Shavita Karan's and SBA, and it's all PPP, which I've been saying it is, and today he said it is a lot of PPP. The question is whether it's all PPP. All he has to do is call them up and say, send it out. Send it out. And you're done. You're literally done. He doesn't even have to write an executive order. He has one. I understand there's a $100 threshold in it, but there's nothing else needed to be done. Things like this are so simple to many viewers like that are listening. They're like, LA, thank you for making it simple. Sometimes I make things complicated simple. This one happens to be simple. There's nothing complicated in this one. The issue here is that there's nothing really at issue that makes it so weird that no one can figure it out. Let me answer some of your incredible questions from last night. Lisa Gray. I loved Linda Gray on Dallas. I'm seriously beginning to think that everyone in the White House is totally lost their freaking minds. Yes. Jamie Crocker. Help the American people now. We need stimulus now. Brenda Newman. Isn't there a saying that says something like the definition of sanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting to change? Garlene Staler. Mr. President, stop playing games with citizens' lives. Ryan Toomey. The government has failed us tremendously. Cookie Knifer. Henry Ford was an American industrialist who once wrote, coming together is the beginning, keeping together is the progress, working together is success. He only said you find fault, you find a remedy. Mr. President, you have control of the remedy. Please use it. Oh, boy. I love that. Cookie Knifer. Wow. Thank you for that wonderful comment. Sharon Rosenberg. Don't let America down, Mr. President. Read my lips, bigger stimulus. Mitch, no. Nancy. Randy, show me the money or show me where the House and Congress stand in line for their unemployment benefits. This virus showed the Republicans and Democrats they don't give an ass about American citizens. Donald Stansky, I've learned more about government in the last 4 months than I did all throughout school. On the other hand, I've learned more than I've ever planned on needing to know. Well, thank you, and thank you again. Mike Williams. Negotiate with Nancy Pelosi is a waste of time. She's never going to agree to anything. Reese Evans, this whole issue is just crazy stupid, unthinkable what's going on. And Julie Jorgensen, now, Mr. President, walk your talk. Jules, vote all congressional incumbents out. November 3rd, we have more to prove. Chris Green, don't protect the debt, protect the people, and they will protect the economy. Amen. I love that, Chris Green. Thank you for your wonderful comment. There's no protecting the debt. There's no need to protect the debt. The debt can afford this. Laura Patterson, people powers in the house. Amen. Tim Rippenberg, please, America, don't send the kids out for Halloween dressed up like any of these politicians. They'll probably get beat up and their candy stolen. Oh, my goodness. Karen Evans, vote people, get them out. I mean, early in the day, this press release was released by the White House, if you can see it. I mean, it's White House and Treasury press release. It's what you're dealing with right now. But what we're dealing with is truth. We're dealing with progress. We're dealing with focus. Because this is Purple Power. Go to the French channel, subscribe, and become part of this Purple Power community. Become part of the people who have made this channel the success it has, that got a name Purple Power just by default. People started referring to me as Mr. Purple, so I referred to this as Purple Power, and hence the name Purple Power came into existence after I started referring to this as Purple Power. Power is information, power is knowledge, power is staying positive, power is remaining dedicated and getting what you need, and ultimately we will. So go to the French channel, subscribe. Also, like this video. Coming up tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is Morning's LALATE. And then always at 12 noon is 28. Just a few more days to the election. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay delightful.